Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the MBA Moon palette. So if you want to see what I think about the palette as well as two looks, then just keep on watching. Listen, as per usual, I've told you I buy it. And I bought it. There is no in between that. I love the color story so much. And I was like, listen, it's on Monolith. And yes, I purchased this from Monolith. No code, no affiliation. I'm just loving Monolith because they bring all the indie brands to Europe. Just saying. But I thought this and I was like, yes, we definitely put that in. Yes, I did. I did. We do have a 9-pan palette. This is again the Cursed Moon by MBA Cosmetics. It's my first MBA cosmetics palette. So I was really excited and was hopeful, to be honest, because they swatched really nice. We do have a 9-pan palette. We do have a mirror. We do have 4 matte shades and then 5 shimmer shades. All of these shimmer shades are really pretty. The only one that is a little bit flaky is Eerie because, listen, it's nothing I wouldn't or haven't seen before. I feel like that is the common theme with those really light shifty shades. I'm not sure if it's because of the pigmentation that they're, or the pigment itself, that they are just a little bit more flaky than usual. I don't know. But in general, you can work with this. I have it here in my inner corner. That's like the peachy shade. That is this one. You can see a little bit of the reflect in here. It is a little bit flaky and it is not as easy to handle as maybe other shades in the palette. All the other palettes are quite regular shimmers, I would say. Beautiful, by the way. This gold has a gold as well as silver reflect, which I like a lot. You can use it with any neutral shade you have. Use it outside of the palette. And by the way, as you can tell, this palette is magnetic, so you can switch them around, use them in other palettes, do your own palette if you also have other MBA shades or even other palettes with shades, just saying. I think in general this is a beautiful palette. I think like all the shimmer shades I did enjoy. This one and this one, listen, you will see in the first look, they look quite similar in the context of my look. And this one was just a little bit more silver, this one a little bit more blue. So I feel like if that has another base, like a brown tone, smoky eye or not, this one would shine. But if you see in the swatches, this looks way more brown based, like a beigey base, but on my eyes, as you will see in the first look, it looks just silver. And this one is quite close with a little bit more of a blue tone. So if you are in the need of that, I feel like this one would look beautiful with browns or something like this. And this one again with the blues. If you want to use them together like I did, just be prepared. They look quite similar and I don't think you see a quite distinction between the two in the look itself. So that is like my little introduction to the palette. Again, I purchased this from Monolith. I will write down in the info bar or info box the European retailer where I picked it from up, which is Monolith, and I also will pick up or write down the link for the MBA website. So you have both of them in here. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I do have 2 looks prepared for you. This is the second look. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, listen, have some fun with the tutorial part. Welcome to my face. Let's start with the first look with the palette. And to be honest, it is quite a singular, I would say, palette. So I think we start with Ill Fated, which is the black, I think. And then we go from there and then doing the black to do the deepest and then go from there to the blues. I am indeed, by the way, my eye is primed, as you can tell. This is a Referral 13 Mini. Just use a small brush. You can use, of course, a liner brush if you like, or some feather brush if you like that as well. I'm just ooh, that is a nice black. I thought, because I did not know MBA cosmetics yet, we will start maybe with the deepest color and go from there, and then maybe in the second look we will hop in and do a little bit of building. I am handling this. Listen, this is black, this is the deepest color. Look at this. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm just dipping in a little bit, not too much. And bring that as well on the lower lash line. Trying not to like flip something here. I feel like this is also blending out quite nicely. I do enjoy it. That's just me. That's just my eye shape. But I do enjoy to go a little bit further into that realm just to like appear a little bit bigger from the eyes, because I don't feel I have like really big eyes. And if you are like different in that way, then use the shape you like. I think that is kind of cute. Look at this. I feel like it makes my eyes a little bit bigger, even though they're not. For the second shade, to blend out the black, I want to go into Ritual, which is the deep blue. And we will layer that a little bit, and we will use the Blend Bunny B1 to do that. We're trying, I did indeed like use a little bit less of the blue. We'll see how this looks. Listen, this will not be perfect. Blues are, because I do have a more warmed undertone, blues are not quite the shades that go well with my undertone and blend into my skin, just so you know. So this one again will be a little bit more difficult to blend in to my skin color, which again, normal, we don't need perfection, we just need a little bit of something, if you will. And we do have at least one lighter color we can still try. I'm also bringing the color a little bit further into the eye, as you can tell here, and we will use the same brush without additional product and try to blend this at least a little bit so it does not have too many harsh lines. Again, this will not be looking perfect. If you have a more cool undertone, this will probably look a little bit better with the blues, just because again I do have warm undertones. This probably will not look like the best blend of your life. So far though, I don't think this is looking really bad. Like, look at this. Not bad at all. I want to blend this out a little bit further in hopes that will work. And I want to use Jinx, which is, as you can tell, the lightest matte shade, which is a light gray. So we will find out if that is working. This will also be probably like a more inner corner. So we were going in to blend the blues. I will use the Cinch EO4 to try to do that. I picked up a ton. Well, technically it's not a ton. And I will just like start here to see. Okay, that will probably work. This is not as gray as I was thinking, which is for the palette quite good, because again, this is a more bluish kind of a color scheme. I'll just go into all of the edges with that, as well as like under my eyes. I don't have, to be honest, like a color here in that palette, and we'll just again blend the blue a little bit further. I do love my camera sometimes I don't, just saying. I will also use that a little bit in my inner corner and a little bit on the lid, just a tiny bit. I will put in some shimmers here just to blend it a little bit further, but to be honest, we don't need that because there will be shimmers on there. But like, look at this. It's not as bad as I maybe, listen, I don't thought this would be like looking bad, to be honest. But sometimes, look at this. Not bad at all. Again, we don't look for perfection. I do have a warm undertone. This is a cool tone palette, a cool tone blue palette, which is not quite. Oh well, to be honest, here this part is quite purpley blue. So yeah, but this is looking really nice. I am personally quite excited that the gray is a little bit of a bluer gray, which fits quite well with the palette. For the shimmers, to be honest, I think about this one and this one. I do want to, for the first look, want to stay with the blues, so none of these. So I'm thinking this one in the outer corner and this one more on the lid and inner corner. This one outer, yes, and this one inner. let's try that. And if that is not not working, by the way, this one is, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a like purple pink blue, which can be cute, to be honest. Not sure if that is fitting quite well, but maybe we'll use it in the second look. We will start with Afflicted, which is the outer shade, and I just sprayed that a little bit. This is the Cinch E1, and we will try to like place that in the outer corner and a little bit on the lid. This one has a little bit more of a flaky formula, if you will. So we'll see about that. So far it works quite well. Definitely, ooh, that is kind of pretty. Just going into like the outer room. So I'm filling out the space in between the blue, the black, and the mattes. Inferno is the middle shade. I do this on the Refer 2 Mini. I feel like this can have a little bit of a greenish tint. We will find out. If these even like show a significant difference, I am not sure. We will find out. I don't think you can tell. This one has a little bit less blue. Not sure if you can tell though. I feel like these are quite similar. This has a little bit, again, this one has a little bit greenish, a little bit less blue, but I don't think you can tell that there is like a significant difference between the two like shimmer shades. These are both of the shades. This is the outer blue, and this one is the inner one. It's a little bit, this one, like Infernal. This is Infernal, and this is Afflicted. And I think you can tell Afflicted is a little bit more blue. This one is a little bit more silver. And again, it has a little bit of a grayish kind of a tinge and a little bit of a greenish like duo shift, I would say. Do I like... Ooh, here you can tell. Like, look at, see the difference? This is Afflicted, this is Infernal. Like, they're a little bit different. I don't think though in my look you can see a difference at all. So I feel like you have to have, like, I feel Infernal, which is this shade here, would look stunning. As you can tell, it has more of a brownish base. And again, a little bit of a greenish shift. I think this one would be amazing on a neutral eye. And this one, again, more bluish shift. I don't think though, for this look, that is helping. But just so you know, for your look maybe, if you want to use the palette. I would leave it like this. For me personally, the grayish blue is not light enough, so I will definitely use like a light shade from Natasha Denona. You can use technically every single eyeshadow you have. As for my inner corners, I will add in the lashes, do the rest of the makeup, and we will be right back. So this is the finished look. I added some blue eyeliner. This is by NYX, and this is a blue teddy. You could use whatever blue you want, whatever eyeliner you have. Or white will do, black will do as well. I do enjoy though a lighter color. And then for lashes, I just used some half lashes, which these are the Essentials half lashes by Essence. I just found these, they were new, and I was like, yeah. So this is the first, listen, I do enjoy it quite a bit. So what do you say? Let's come to the second look to try the palette a little bit more, and let's do this. Welcome to my face. Let's do this, and the second look with the Cursed Moon palette. I'm super excited. Plan is to use Tortured and then the gold shades. So let's try that and make a beautiful look together. Everything works out like I planned it. This should be quite straightforward. I will not do a halo eye because listen, normally I do like a normal one and a halo. I've tried to show you different stuff. So we are going with Tortured, and then I'm using the Morphe M506, which is just a smaller blending brush, and then we'll go in from here and have a little bit of fun. By the way, yes, I did prime my eye because I have oily eyelids. If you don't, good for you. Just slapping that on. This is a, like, look at this. This is such a pretty color. I do love a good tealy blue, to be honest. I'm trying to look straight in the camera so that I have everything like in place, and I know how high I need to go, as you can tell, how high I need to go with my blue shade so that everything is covered. And even if I open my eyes, you can still see the teal shade. By the way, I love it. Oh, look at this. This is so pretty. And we will just blend out the teal with itself. I'm just using the brush, and I will just go to the edges and blend this without additional product. And look at this. This is looking straight good already. To be honest, that teal blended out like super easy, which, I mean, we absolutely love that. Like, look at this. This is gorgeous. If you wanted to blend a little bit further, you could. I'm just using a big brush. This is by Cinch, and this is the E03, and we can use the gray shade, which is Jinx. As we talked about in the last look, this is more of a grayish blue, and we can just go around the edges just a little bit to soften everything. I don't think this is super necessary, to be honest. Again, this is really soft and blends out really nicely. It would be better, of course, if we blended, listen, it would be better if we blended on like a cool tone skin, but I don't have that, so we're just ignoring that and think that is so fine. And yes, I do have a little bit of fallout, but I can, well, a little bit more. I can fix that, even though I did not powder, which in hindsight was a bad choice. Okay, to use the other shades, which again are the gold tones, we will use Beshrewd or something like this. Not 100% sure if that is the right word, but we will use that. I did spray that. This is the Zeesea 232, and we will just lay that right here in the middle of the lid and bring that a little bit further in the inner corner and a little bit on the outer corner. This is a beautiful gold shade. It also have like gold as well as silver reflects, so this is really pretty. I also tried, by the way, this in a more neutral look, and it was gorgeous. You can indeed, if you don't spritz that, and again, I've tried it in a neutral look, so I know, you can also use this just with your finger, tap a little bit off, and then use this to have like more of a glitter dispersion. That is also kind of pretty, just saying. And to blend that in my inner corner, I will use Eerie on the brush by Essence, like use a flat brush. I did spray that. Listen, Eerie is one of those flaky shades, which they often are in that like lightness, but yeah, we will find out if that is bringing us anything except for like flakes. Oh, okay, it does a little bit. As you can tell, this is way more wanton than I thought. And now I'm like, listen, why do I have that shade in here? I will bring that a little bit further in, like that hollow area in my eyes. Yeah, well, to be honest, like look at this. Do you see the peach sheen? Well, was not expecting that, to be honest. And again, this is like, look at this. This is really flaky. We just spray that more than we should. I do have to say, this is pretty, but it does not fit the vibe. And we know the girls are all about the vibes. Ooh. Okay. I will use that in my inner corner as well. And technically, that is the look I think, yeah, you can see this is really kind of flaky, which to be honest, am not the biggest fan of. And I'm telling you why, because it is really not easy to control, like really flaky shimmer. it looks kind of interesting, don't get me wrong. I will finish that up, put on some lashes, a liner probably, as well as my inner like waterline liner, and I'll be right here and we'll talk about the palette. This is the end look. I really enjoy it. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do a little bit of the peach that we have in that shadow, also in my lower lash line or in my lower waterline. So I am having the Nabla, is it the Arrows, Cupid's Arrow pen in Melon, which I feel like is great. And then we do have the Allure Silk Lashes in Astro Silk Effect, which I'm pretty sure I've discontinued, and I don't care because I still have them. They are still working. We're using them. Just saying. So let's I love it. So let's talk about the palette and how I feel about it. Listen, I think the quality is really amazing. I do enjoy them quite a bit. I do have to say though, the color story, at least for me, is missing something. Just saying. I felt like, especially with this shade as well as the gold, I love the combination of blue as well as gold. I think though, if they put in one like gold shade, like a matte yellow, that would be amazing. Just saying. A matte yellow, like a mid, or really a really light one. I felt like that would be great. And I have to say, if you switch out maybe this shade or this shade, depending, I did not use this shade at all. Sorry for that. But I feel like if you switch one of the shimmers to a matte yellow, I think this one would be even more versatile. I love that we have the black and the two blue shades. These are great because you could go with the true blue or you could go with the teal shade, which I did today. Listen, if this look a little bit strange, again, I'm a neutral, leaning more warm tone undertone. So for me personally, that combination, especially the teal, is not like natural to me. It's not blending in the best. And if I'm not careful enough, it could also go into the direction of sickly. But of course we don't care because, listen, we don't care. I feel like that is the point. All the other shades are amazing. I do enjoy the quality quite a bit. This one, Eerie, it's a little bit flaky, which I feel like are almost all the shades I've tried. Doesn't matter which brand, I did try them from a ton of brands, and I feel like all of these like really light shades are kind of flaky, which is not my favorite, especially that if there is like a lot of pigment there. Yeah, listen, it's really hard to pick up this flaky shade and then use it that it does not look overdue or not there at all. So it's a little bit more difficult to use that kind of a shade. So you know what I mean? But again, for me personally, I do enjoy the selection. It does remind me a ton of the Fantasy Cosmetica palette, which does not look the same. Don't get me wrong. It's not the same palette. It's not the same color story. It's not the same like colors at all. I think though the Fantasy Cosmetica has a matte yellow and also 9 pan, just saying. So for me personally, I think like if that one had a matte yellow, I would love it even more. I think the quality is great. All of the shades blended really nicely. They also blended itself, which again, for this one, I just used a little bit of that shade, and to be honest, it was not even necessary. Just saying. So for me personally, quality amazing. I am really excited to try more looks with the palette, as well as trying it to combine with other palettes. I feel like that would be also really cute, like pulling in maybe a yellow shade from any of my other palettes, and I'm absolutely loving yellow, so that would be not a problem. I think in general, amazing quality. I love the shimmers, again, except for this one being a little bit flaky. This one is gorgeous. If you have a neutral look and just again tap this in, it is so pretty. Again, other than this, really enjoying the palette. I hope you enjoyed this too. If you have another recommendation from MBA Cosmetics, one of the palettes you love or you used before and really think this is a great color story, write it down in the comments below, because I really think this has a great quality and I definitely want to pick up another palette from them. So write it down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I wish you If you want to see more of that videos or these kinds of videos, write it down in the comments as well. If you are not already, subscribe to this channel. I upload normally 3 times or something like that, videos per week, depending on how my work week is going. So yeah, I'm hoping you will stay with me, have fun with colors. And yeah, I would love to see you here, my spoiled little YouTube family. I wish you a beautiful week. We see us in my next video. So bye guys.